So what you need to do is think of it in terms of ICO, which is increased client opportunities. So that's what you're doing. You're making connections and you're talking to people so that hopefully you can create a client through engagement. So just remember that, ICO. Now, the next thing I want to talk about in terms of social media is defining the different types of social media channels. And when I say channel, it's basically a category. So there are different types of categories of social networking sites that we see all the time. Number one are blogs, such as WordPress, Twitter, and Blogger. And again, I'm going to speed through this so we can get to the exercise, and then if you guys do have any more specific questions, we can save those for the end, okay? Social networking services such as Facebook and LinkedIn. These are services that allow you to connect, like I said, from individual to individual. Social bookmarking service. These services allow you to bookmark things that you find important and share them with other people. There are social news services like Dig and Read It. You're able to share different news stories and tidbits about things with other people. Social geolocation and meeting services like Foursquare and Meetup. So Foursquare is a service that allows you to connect to people in your area, just as well as Meetup is a meetup service that allows you to meet and make different types of, or create different types of meetings with people in your area. Community building services like Wikipedia and Meme. Meme is a service that allows you to create your own community. Wikipedia, it allows people to actually create or talk within a community. Okay, so number two, let's go into the good. Audience, 1 billion and counting. And this is only counting the 3 social networking services, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. There's over 1 billion people on those, over 1 billion people on those 3 services, and it says counting because that number is going up every day. Branding. The good is that this allows you to put your company in front of other people that you wouldn't normally be able to put your company in front of. So it allows you a space, a profile that you can brand with your logo, with your colors, with your mission statement. And you can put this in front of people in Australia, you can put this in front of people in China, as long as that's what your goal is. Building relationships. It allows you to build relationships with people that you wouldn't normally as well. Of course, social media, social networking, like I said before, is a communication tool and an engagement tool. Improving business processes. Now, this is the part that a lot of people miss on as far as businesses go when I talk to a lot of clients, is that they don't understand that this can actually help with their business processes. And I think one of the reasons they don't understand that is because a lot of times they don't have sound business processes. But social media can help in your processes, such as if you are a catering business and you want to allow someone to make an order. Well, a lot of people, from what I see, they take orders through Twitter. And it's instant, it's up to the moment, so it makes it easy for you to be able to do that. Improving search engine rankings. All the search engines or all the social networking sites that you find, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, they all have high ranking. I know a lot of you are very interested probably in search engine optimization as well, or you've heard the term and you're wondering how you can get your site to come up in search rankings. Well, there's 2 things that are very important, and that is content and link building are the 2 most important things in search engine optimization. Well, social networking or social media does one of those things for you. It gives you highly ranked links back to your website. So when you're setting up these profiles, you now have done one part of that, which is the links. You also, by creating content on the different sites, you've also created content that you can link back to your website, and you've done both things. So it's actually a very good tool for search engine optimization or improving your search rankings as well. Selling when opportunities arise. So if you're not doing social media, you would never know that someone somewhere may want your product. But if you are doing social media, there may be a conversation between you or whoever is handling your social media where somebody asks for the product or they want to buy something from you. And how would you ever know that unless you're using social media? Knowing that the biggest, your target market in your segment is probably using social media as well. Saving money on advertising. As we all know, social media is basically free. It costs nothing for you to set up a Facebook page or a Twitter page. So that's the best part about social media, is that it doesn't cost very much. And even if you decide to hire someone, or if you decide that you want to do pay-per-click, which does cost, or do online ads, it will never amount to the cost of you doing, say, for instance, television or radio. It will always be less money for you and your business. So let's look at one of the subjects a little closer, which is improving your business processes. And I touched on it quickly, but here are a few things to show you, just to understand that with social networks, social media, you can use it to promptly detect and correct customer problems or complaints. So I gave the example of Twitter earlier. A lot of companies now are using Twitter to receive complaints so that they can quickly answer those complaints. Every business is going to have complaints, and there's no shame in not doing things correctly right out of the box. And as a small business owner or business owners, we understand that that's the way it goes. But the best thing you can do for yourself is answer your complaints and answer them promptly. So these are tools. Social networking can be used as tools where you can answer these complaints. Another one is Yelp. We all want the good testimonials, but we get a bad testimonial and we don't know what to do. The best thing to do when you get a bad testimonial is to answer it. Regardless of what that answer is, it's better than not answering at all. So sometimes if people see that you're actually active in answering these complaints, and this is more far-reaching than that. This is just one example. If you do have a company that makes products or t-shirts or whatever it might be, you can always, one of the best things you can do is to what's called crowdsourcing. And crowdsourcing is asking people about what they think. It's that simple. In the past with marketing, you had to do these surveys, you had to go to these big companies that do the survey, you pay all this money. But now you have a captive audience to find out what's working and what's not working for your products, the designs, and for your business. Number 3, provide tech support to many people at one time. If one person has a question, chances are good that others do too. Going back to Twitter, what we do, or what I have a lot of my clients do, is the same thing. So when you go back to answering that complaint, usually you opened up kind of a, let's just say, a can of worms. Because that one complaint, other people are talking about that complaint. Maybe other people have had that complaint. So you end up getting all these people that are complaining to you about maybe your product or service, which seems very bad, but in essence, what it does when you do answer that complaint, it just shows again that you're active and you're engaged. And a big group of people can now see this. Improve service delivery, such as cafes that accept to-go orders on Twitter and Facebook, or cupcake carts and caravans that notify customers where and when their cars will arrive. So if you have any kind of service where you're constantly moving, or maybe it's just you as an individual, you're in certain places at certain times, maybe you want to let people know that you're there. Like today, I wanted to let people know that I was here. So I'm constantly tweeting just to let people know where I'm at and what I'm doing. I just put out a tweet to my followers just to say I'm headed to the podium. That way, these stragglers, maybe someone sitting out there wants to hurry to get here, and they can get here, and they know exactly where I'm at. So it's a good way. It's a good way to just let people know where you're at any given time. Number 5, locate qualified new vendors, service providers, and employees by using professional networks such as LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a good service to find other professionals. LinkedIn's not for everyone, but if you're a professional, it's more B2B. I'm sure most of you guys have heard that term, right? B2B rather than B2C, which is it's business to business, or there's business to business and business to consumer. LinkedIn is more of a business to business, so it's businesses talking to businesses. And in LinkedIn, you can find other businesses that maybe you want to connect with as far as a vendor, or you need certain things for your company, and it's a good place to find things like that. Number 6, collect critical market intelligence on your industry and competitors by watching content on appropriate social media. So not only are you on social media, but all your competitors are on social media. So it's a great way to do market research for yourself. So if you're one of those small businesses that, like a lot of small businesses, that kind of jumped into it and didn't do all your research, social media is a great tool to not only do the research for yourself, but see what, find out what all your other competitors are doing. Because if they're doing it successfully, then they're doing a lot of the things that you should be doing. And they did a lot of the research on their own company so that they can do those things successfully. Use new geolocation services to drive local traffic during slow times and acquire new customers. How many of you guys have heard of Foursquare?